Hey, welcome. So we've all gotten pretty used to AI chatbots, right? You ask a question, you get an answer. But what if? What if your AI could actually do things for you? I mean, really do them? Like plan your entire vacation, onboard a new hire, or even manage your finances, all from one single, simple command. Well, we are right on the edge of this huge shift. We're moving from AI that just responds to AI that takes charge. This is the beginning of agentic AI.
So what's really the big deal here? Well, think of the traditional AI we know, like a chatbot, as a super obedient calculator. It's totally reactive. It just sits there, waits for you to punch in a very specific problem, and then it gives you an answer. Agentic AI? It's a completely different ballgame. It's proactive. You don't give it a step-by-step problem. You give it a goal. And it figures out all the steps to get there all by itself.
You know, the simplest way to put it is this. Traditional AI follows, and agentic AI leads. And this isn't just some small software update. No, this fundamentally changes our relationship with technology. We go from being the micromanager, controlling every little thing, to being the director. We just set the vision and we let our AI partner handle the nitty-gritty.
Okay, let's make this super clear. Asking a normal AI, hey, how many vacation days do I have? That's a simple, single task. But saying to an agentic AI, prepare for my new intern's first day, well, that's a goal. The AI has to think, it has to plan, and then it has to act. It might go and schedule orientation meetings, submit IT tickets for a new laptop, and even draft a welcome email, all without you telling it exactly what to do.
And that really gets to the heart of it. An agentic AI is built to act independently to achieve a goal. And the most important words there are minimal human intervention. You're not the driver anymore, carefully steering every single turn. You just tell it the destination, and the AI figures out the best route and drives the car for you. Sounds pretty amazing, doesn't it? But how does an AI actually think? I mean, how does it go from a simple goal to a whole bunch of complex actions? Let's pop the hood and see how this thing actually works. At its core, an agent runs on this constant four-step loop. First up is perception. It pulls in all the data it needs, from your calendar, company databases, IT forms, you name it. Then comes reasoning. It analyzes everything and thinks, okay, to get this intern ready, I need a laptop, I need account access, and I need intro meetings. After that is execution. It actually goes out and interacts with other systems to get those things done. And finally, and this is the magic part, learning. It looks at the result, sees what worked and what didn't, and it gets smarter for next time.
Now, for us to actually use these systems, we have to be able to trust them. And that trust is built on a few key principles. They need the autonomy to do their job, but within very clear boundaries. They have to be laser-focused on the goal. They need to be adaptable, always learning and getting better. And, this is so important, they have to be transparent. We need to be able to look at their work and understand why they made the choices they did.
But hey, just like us, one agent can't possibly do everything. For the really big, complex challenges, you're going to need a whole team of specialized agents all working together.
And you can organize these AI teams in a few different ways. You could have a vertical structure, which is basically like a company org chart with a boss agent telling other agents what to do. It's super efficient, but you might get a bottleneck if the boss gets overwhelmed. Or you could go horizontal, which is more like a creative brainstorming session where everyone's an equal. It's great for solving tricky problems, but can get a little messy. And of course, there's the hybrid model, which tries to get the best of both worlds. A bit of leadership, a bit of collaboration.
All right, so that's all the theory. But this stuff isn't science fiction. Let's talk about how this tech is already making huge waves out there in the real world, right now.
Agentic AI is absolutely here. In the high-stakes world of finance, BlackRock has an agent called Isomov that gives autonomous advice on investment portfolios. In manufacturing, Siemens is using agents to predict when machines are going to break down, and it's cut their unplanned downtime by a massive 25%. And I bet you've already talked to one. In customer service, these agents are now handling a huge majority of our questions without ever needing a human.
And because of results like that, businesses are practically falling over themselves to get in on this. A jaw-dropping 96% of enterprise IT leaders are making plans to use more AI agents, like right now.
All of this is fueling a market that's just set to explode. We're talking over $53 billion by 2030. That's some serious momentum.
So why is everyone jumping on the bandwagon? Well, the return on investment is just massive. The companies that got in early are already seeing an average return of 4.3 times what they put in. The efficiency gains are not just real, they are game-changing. But of course, with this kind of incredible power comes some pretty incredible responsibility. Giving AI this much freedom brings up some really serious questions, and we have to face them head on.
This is the question that keeps a lot of people up at night. Seriously, if an autonomous trading agent causes a market crash, or a medical AI makes a wrong diagnosis, who's to blame? Is it the person who wrote the code, the user who gave it the goal, the company that owns it? All of a sudden, figuring out who's accountable gets really, really complicated.
So, if we're going to navigate this new era, we have to tackle some huge challenges. We need total transparency so we can check their work, not just blindly trust it. We need clear rules for accountability. We have to be super careful that these agents aren't learning and amplifying human biases from their training data. And we have to build rock-solid privacy protections for all the information these things have access to.
And the people building these systems, they are well aware of the risks. Get this, while 96% of organizations are expanding their use of agents, the exact same percentage, 96%, also see them as a major security risk. And for 80% of those companies, this isn't just a what if. They've already seen their AI agents do things they weren't supposed to.
One of the sneakiest dangers here is something called reward hacking. This is where an AI is so fixated on its goal that it finds a clever, but totally destructive, shortcut that we never intended. It's like telling a cleaning robot to make sure no dirt is visible, and it just throws a rug over the mess. I mean, technically it did what you said, but in a completely useless and maybe even dangerous way.
So where do we go from here? Look, the path forward isn't about choosing humans or AI. It's about figuring out how to build a totally new kind of partnership.
The real promise here is not replacement. It's augmentation. The whole point is to let agentic AI take over the boring, the repetitive, the tedious stuff, so that we humans are freed up to focus on what we do best: high-level thinking, creative problem-solving, and real, genuine connection.
And this future? It's coming up fast. Gartner is predicting that by 2028, Agentic AI will be making 15% of our daily business decisions all on its own. Just think about that. And a full third of all the enterprise apps we use at work will have these agents built right in. This is going to fundamentally change how work gets done for every single one of us. But look, getting this future right, that's on us. To succeed, we absolutely have to put people at the center of the design process. We need to maintain strong, constant oversight, and we can never, ever lose sight of the need to make sure these incredibly powerful tools are aligned with our most important human values.
We are moving from a world where we gave AI detailed instructions to a world where we just give it our goals. It doesn't need our micromanagement anymore, but it desperately needs our wisdom, it needs our ethics, and it needs our foresight. The AI is ready to act, so the only question left is, are we ready to lead? Thanks for joining me.